just focusing on the morality here for a moment, this is repugnant. And here he is defending it in his calm, articulate manner. He is moral, much more moral than any atheist. But you know, those people deserve to drown because God gave them the means of salvation and they rejected it. They could have gotten in the ark, but they didn't. They kept sinning, which is to say that they kept doing things that God didn't approve of, including little babies. There were babies among those who died in the flood.
No shit.
You monster! It's the baby's fault, is it? Even if I accepted your moral...
Okay. Let's debunk your bunk. Look on the bright side. If it's true, there is an age of accountability. All the babies who were killed in the flood went to heaven. Now, had they been allowed to grow into adults, they would have gone to hell. So, maybe in killing those babies in the flood, God was showing them a form of mercy. I tell you what, bitch. If I'm a baby, if I have a choice, God can drown the fuck out of me. And since I have not reached the age of accountability, I go to heaven. Well, God let me grow into an adult and become a sinner and die and go to hell forever. Let him kill me as a baby. But then again, there's some people like Tim Conway and John Calvin who believe there are babies in hell. I curse those who believe that. I personally think when someone not at the age of accountability dies, they are given the chance to accrue enough life experience to make a decision for or against God. And then once they make the decision, they either go to heaven or hell. Since there is no time in eternity, they are given enough, whatever, to make a choice. That's what I think. How come nobody else has ever thought of this? Or if they have, how can they have said it? But I'm glad those people died in the flood. Had they been allowed to live, I might not have been born. Humanity might have become extinct and I would never have been born. You say if you go back in time and kill one fly, let's say you go back in time and kill your grandma, so you're never born. It operates on that principle. So I'm glad that whatever happened in history, I'm glad. So long as I got to be born and live. Let them die. They're not me. And you don't understand the nature of God. God is like a fire. You touch that fire, it burns you. You don't say, "Oh, fire, why did you burn me? Why did you burn me? That's just nature to burn. That's the same thing with God. But God loves, and He wants to save you from Himself. Because God is holy. God is a fire that's going to burn forever and ever. And if you're not holy, you're going to burn. If you do not become a part of the flame, you are going to burn. That's just that simple. And God created life. God did not just... It's not like God took a test tube and made life with already existing principles. With already... God created the very, very rules by which life exists. So, therefore, God literally gave us life. So God has the right to take it away. Let's face it. Some theologians have said the only thing that exists is God. All of us are projections of His mind. So basically, God has the right to do to Himself whatever He wants. Now, there are places in the Bible where God is called out. Abraham asks Shall not the judge of the earth do right? And the book of Hebrews right, but God is not unrighteous to forgive your work and labor of love. So God must be true to himself and his own righteousness. But kids, people dying in the flood, just as long as history gets up to the point where I'm born, whatever happened. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad I was alive. I'm glad I was conceived and born. Now, if only I could get the hair transplant so I could be a good-looking guy, have the long forearms, be a good-looking guy, I'd be supremely happy. Now I'd sacrifice another world in a flood to become a good-looking guy and have long forearms with pit smell. That's just the way it is. The point of living is to be happy at all costs. And give happiness to those who love you and would love you if they knew you and who you love. I believe in giving everybody a chance to be loving to me, to like me. But if you fail that test, so far as I'm concerned, let God. I hope you die. If you don't like me, those type of people piss me off the most. They just don't like me. I hate those people. I want those type of people to die. They are a blight to my existence. They devalue my worth. And let them die, and God sort them out. I don't want them to have to die, but if they don't love me, those who love me well. Those who don't can go to hell. I believe in that. I believe in being kind to people. I love those old-fashioned neighborly neighborhoods where your neighbor came over and borrowed a cup of sugar or you went over to your neighbor's house and you borrowed a cup of sugar from them. You got together on the weekends for cookouts, maybe drink a beer or two. I don't drink beer, but some of them, maybe some of the adults drank beer, but the kids played tag together, played games together. There was no internet. Times were simpler. And belief in God was what caused that, because there's something to unite humanity with purpose and reason. A reason to live, a reason to love life. Because God was the principle of all of life. Ultimately, in the end, life would win against death. You would live forever. So, I'm still trying to get Aaron Ra to have an exchange of ideas with me. But he won't do it. So I'm asking you, Aaron Ra, can we have a face-to-face on the internet live stream exchange of ideas? Or Magic Skeptic, will you do this?